Alright guys, welcome to the Blue February Finals. 8 of our best teams on iOS who have fought all through the month of February to make it to this point and fight for their share of a €500 prize pool. We will be getting started shortly with our first game of the day between Valence Blue and ANG, but before we do, before even that moment can arrive, let's take ourselves a wee look at the brackets. So, taking part today will be Brazzers going against Severe. Brazzers coming in as our #1 seed today and our favourites based on their previous performance. We 2OP will be dealing against Take Motti, the two Japanese teams from today. Notice that as we go through, we've got a lot of American teams in the higher ranks places. #1, 2, and 3, all American teams so far. So certainly we're expecting an American team to at least do well, if not take this tournament. Valence Blue going up against our only Mexican side, ANG, which will be our first on-stream game. And then ASN Esports, the dark horses of the tournament, coming in as the number 7 seed, certainly not #1 seed, going up against our #2 seed, Destiny Blue. But do not let this seeding fool you entirely, because ASN Esports, based on their previous performance, I would say are quite easily going to be one of the favourites to win out here today. So we're going to get set up for that in just a second. It looks like ANG will be starting out this first match over on the blue side as we head on to Scramble. So I'm just going to get that set up for you guys. As mentioned on the Facebook description, we will be having double giveaways all the way through the evening and we'll be going through quite quickly. So we'll get that one started up pretty shortly. So for now, please bear with, and we'll be getting started for our first game of our monthly finals in just a few moments when the teams are ready. Alright guys, let's waste no time whatsoever in getting started for our first game of the day, quarterfinals, because of having 8 of only our finest teams playing for you today. But yes, how are you guys doing? Let's see. So, Ebenezer Getahan, you were asking how you enter a tournament. So, usually you would go through the ESL website and sign up there. The monthly finals are a exception. They are an invitational tournament for the teams that did the best from the preceding month. So we'll see how these guys do in the early going. Let me just correct. There we go. That we are in the blue as ANG fire the first shot. The team from Mexico secure themselves first blood, though Ra1 is able to trade it back just as quickly. And of course, I misspeak, I believe, as I thought ANG picked up a kill for themselves, as Ra1 lurking from the side. But no, I misunderstood, I misread what was being displayed before me. But yes, the ever wonderful Soldier Girl is running the admin side of things, so if you see her in the chat, please do say hi. Hopefully everything will run nice and smooth for everybody today. And we'll see how this one develops, because currently we are looking at a very different Scramble game than we used to. So Scramble, so often a map that is heavily dominated by players trying to pick each other off using the many and varied sight lines. However, things have been quiet up until this point, but maybe that's about to change. Illumination Gaming, literally everyone has a freaking sniper. On a Scramble, it's pretty much obligatory, I'm afraid. Just because of it being an outdoors map, it means there are a million different kinds of angles that you can shoot people from, where you can basically not be seen nearly at all. We'll try and point these out as we go, but it does mean that sniper rifles are basically, you know, it's very difficult to get by without them, because as you can see here, ANG Assassin, this is one of the most popular sniping spots, firing through the steps here. Gives you a lot of cover, covers up basically most of your body, also obscures you from long range view. ANG have got themselves a few kills in here. Let's take a look across how things are going. Generally, you can look and see the ANG are mostly losing out on these individual trades. Violence Blue very much dictating the pace for the time being. Pancho is going to break away from those freaking sniper rifles as Illumination, so wonderfully put, and go for the recon. It's still a tricky proposition though, because with the way snipers are at the moment, they are still relatively effective at short range, but Pancho is going to try and try the high risk, high reward, which I think is exemplified perfectly by having 3 kills and 3 deaths as well. Pancho goes up high, and I think that could be a mistake. Assassin does get a kill across for ANG. Guys, yes, I think from what I've heard, Gameloft are aware that Lax and BSWs are very much the flavour of the month for these ESL tournaments. Hopefully we will see some kind of changes to try and give ourselves a little bit more variety. I will say that in the monthly finals, these are the times we've seen the most variety from the teams, because they're playing for their share of a €500 prize pool, which only goes to first and second. If they're ever going to be motivated to try and break out the unusual tactics, here and now is the place. Best of 3 right now, as Umahiro rather, will get taken down. Some kills coming through from the side of ANG, but again, they still seem to be playing the game of Violence Blue. Let's see, any standout players? It's actually going to be Lexa, who is, of course, literally immediately dead the moment we mention them, for the side of ANG. Let's see if we can drop in with Lexa once they respawn. Doing some pretty nice sniper-rooney stuff. I'm just going to get you guys ready for those double giveaways as well, which we will be starting on Twitch, I believe. We'll get that sorted out in a minute. 1 minute left to play on our first quarter-final games. Do you think A&G have got what it takes to come back, or is this all about our number 3 seed, Violence Blue? Let us know in the chat, guys. As a flurry of kills perhaps puts that question beyond contention. Murray coming in from the side, and it looks like the lines of A&G more or less have been overrun at this point in the Mexican team. Really struggling in this first game. So while the stakes for this particular invitational top monthly finals are higher, the format is more or less the same as what you guys will be used to. Best of 3 all the way up to the finals, which will be best of 5. We'll just be getting there quite a lot faster than before. Illumination Gaming, you'd like to see the Imp get used competitively? Chifa, Israel the boss one, I think you are correct. Violence Blue don't quite manage to hit the full score limit, but they do very well nonetheless. So I think it's going to be, our MVP is going to go across to Umihara. Who did exceptionally well in that last game. We'll be getting it started with that second game in hopefully just a few minutes, so please do stay tuned, and we'll be putting up details of that of the first set of giveaways in the break. Welcome back to our monthly finals, guys. Violence Blue now heading over to the blue side, where of course they are the most comfortable. ANG will be over the red for the second game of our quarterfinals. Our first giveaway will be live on Twitch and will be running it for just this game. So please make your way swiftly across to twitch.tv/modern and put your entry in. Hashtag quarter to the chat. We've got 2 sets of 400 credits to give away, so please get your entries in there while you can, because we'll be moving through the giveaways extremely quickly over the course of today. I didn't really get a chance to introduce myself when we started off the stream because things kicked off so quickly, but my name is Peter Counterfeit Harnell, for any of you guys who are here before. It's me, that same guy again. For all people who are new to the stream, welcome! Lovely to see you here. But yes, so if you guys would like free credits for just putting some hashtags into the chat, or at least your chance at free credits, please do make your way across to twitch.tv/modern hashtag quarter into Twitch chat. That's all you need to do, and we will draw them at the end of this game. Illumination Gamer, thank you for being the first to land across there. If Illumination is the only person who does, then I guess we'll just have to give him both sets of credits. Oh, excuse me there. That's strange. That is a muted tab, so that should not have happened. Never mind. Alright, so let's get back into things. Now ANG on the streets are actually ahead in the early going. Let's see if we can find some of the top players. In fact, haha, we have already done so. Violence Blue catching up a little bit there in that last exchange, but ANG looking a lot better. What do you guys think? Last time I think it was a fairly easy write-off for ANG, but it seems like things may have changed on the streets. ANG very much aware they cannot afford to lose this game, coming at the American team Violence Blue with quite some ferocity. Nitro doing some good work with the Slack, but will run out of Slack shots very quickly. Yes, Illumination Gamer, the only one who's entered in on Twitch at the moment. If Violence Blue do win this, the Twitch giveaway will be over and done with, and I guess we'll just have to pile credits on him until he falls over. If you'd like to get in on that, hashtag quarter. Won't keep saying that because we'll be moving through things so quickly. Chifa Israel the Boss won. To win the giveaway, if you just follow the instructions I just pasted into the chat, you go to the Twitch channel, you type in hashtag quarter, that's it. And then randomly choosing from people who have entered as to who will be the recipient of 400 credits. Hopefully that all makes sense. If it doesn't, do let me know, Chifa, and I'll try and explain it in a less hurried fashion, because things are going to be ending so quickly that we're going to have to bang through these giveaways extremely fast today, because we are only compacted to the very best of our teams from February. Illumination Gamer made me tumble right over them sparkly credits. Oh yeah! It's all about the good times today. So if you've ever watched one of these monthly streams and thought, I wonder why these guys are doing this, it's because they can make their way through to these monthly files and really get the big payouts. Chifa Israel the Boss won. Okay, I guess I was not clear enough. You need to enter in your hashtag quarter on the Twitch page, not hashtag counter on the YouTube page. But very sweet of you to assume that I would use my own name as the giveaway. But no, not the case. Fake Dolls, are you going to be playing tomorrow versus Vol? Pretty exciting stuff. But let's focus our attention in on Violence Blue. And see, I think we can fairly clearly actually going to tell where this game will be won or lost. It's going to be on Turquoise. Currently on the Recon class, most kills, most deaths. Chifa Israel the Boss, I'm afraid you will need to have Twitch to enter in this giveaway, but don't worry, there will be a YouTube giveaway as well. Or you can just sign up for Twitch, it doesn't take very long. But I think it does look like we're going to have to give both of those sets of credits to Illumination Gamer, because no one else has entered. Congratulations, Illumination. If Violence Blue end it, and they have, that means they are going through to the semi-finals. ANG will have to bid adieu as the only Mexican team in today's finals. And we will be back with more Modern Combat 5 coming up. So, Illumination Gamer, if you could give me your dog tag and platform. Then we'll get you sorted out with those 400 credits in around 2 or 3 weeks' times. So congratulations there. I'll just making a note, since that's not normally how it works, but just for you, Illumination Gamer, just for you. We're gonna do it all nice and special like, eh? Alright, so Twitch giveaways are over and done with now. And we will see about getting ourselves moving on the Facebook page. So let me just get that all set up. Boop 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 boop. Right, that will be hashtag semi over on Facebook for our next one. Thank you, Illumination Gamer. I'm just going to update everybody as to what's going on. So, guys on Facebook, if you do enter in hashtag semi to the comments over there, then we'll be getting it to you guys at the end of the next game. But for now, we'll have to pop ourselves to a wee break, and we'll be back 7 minutes from right now. Alright guys, welcome back to the stream. I think we are just waiting on a couple of games to get finished up. So while we are, I'm going to see about setting us up with a custom game for as long as we have the opportunity to do so. Facebook giveaway is in full effect. So, if you would like to go in on that while you've got the chance, then please do so. Alright, so I'll send out the invites as well as you can use the passkey in the bottom right hand corner of the screen to join as well. I think we may very quickly, in fact may almost immediately, have the Brazzers versus Take Motti finals coming up. Oh gosh, that's gone past really quickly. Okay, no sorry, that's the their name is finals, it is not the finals themselves. Alright, well, we'll see if we can get this one started. And we'll have that Brazzers versus Take Motti semi-final coming up shortly. So let me get that all set up for you guys. And we will definitely not be able to make it all the way through this game, but hopefully there's enough of you guys to get started with. You can see the Hated Clan out in full array. Let's see if we can get ourselves enough players to start with. We have got actually a pass key for that first game, so I'll just let you guys get this game started, and then we'll see if we can get... Why is everybody going to the red team? Oh, Bioperformix, why does nobody love you? Alright, well, I've got to let you guys get on with this, so hopefully you can do a bit of team arranging on your own, because we've got to get started for that semi-final game. So, we'll BRB, just going to jump into lobby, and then we'll be back with that lobby in just a few moments. I've got the passkey already ready. So we'll let you guys play out that extremely one-sided team battle off stream, and we'll get ready for all the tournament stuff on this end of things. Let me just quit out of this game. But yes, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes. So, BRB, Gamer HQ, doing good, doing good. I had, I think, 10 minutes of sleep between the two tournaments, so I'm feeling fine. Wah, wah, wah. Alright guys, we'll be right back with that new lobby. Welcome back, guys, to our semi-finals this time round. Brazzers versus Take Motti. Now, Take Motti are the last remaining non-American team in the tournament. We normally expect to see a lot more Japanese sides taking part, but with ASN Esports nominally written down as international in this tournament, but traditionally a Japanese team, certainly getting knocked out in the first round by Destiny, and Take Motti themselves knocking out their country persons in We2OP in their quarterfinals match, means that we are looking at a 3 American, 1 Japanese semi-final stage. We shall see if we'll have an all-American finals for you guys, depending on how Take Motti perform here. So, Museum will be our first destination, as runs into multiple Take Motti members and manages to bring some parity back to those scores again. Illumination Gaming, you want in-game chatu? I'm not sure what you mean. Your spacebar didn't click. Ah, that makes a bit of sense. TM Poon mantling across there. It's going to run into a little bit of trouble from DMZ, as Brazzers are a very unconvincingly disguised Dramas team, so you'll notice their tags are all DMZ. Hey John Smith, you joined the custom match. Well, you are a hero, an unsung hero nonetheless, but a hero to us all. So because we're actually very close to getting to our finals already, our Facebook giveaway will be over after the end of this first game, because we've got a lot of giveaways to get through before our finals themselves start. So please do get your entries in over on Facebook. That's hashtag semi on the Modern Combat Facebook page. Find the live video, stick your comment in, and you've got yourself a chance of winning 400 credits for merely putting down that single hashtag. Peter, hello Peter, lovely to see you. Good to see Clan Peter is out in tremendous force. How are things going for the Peters all over the place? So as we mentioned, Brazzers coming in as our #1 seed, actually taking a pretty solid battering from Take Motti. As mentioned, the only hope of a Japanese team making it to the grand finals, dependent on this particular semis. And I think it's certainly looking like, on the Museum at least, that we've got some very strong performances. It's actually going to be Poon so far, who's done fantastic stuff. Take Motti. I'm trying to remember what I've seen of Take Motti before. I have a feeling they might be one of those dark horse teams where they haven't necessarily jumped out everybody all the time, but they have had very solid performances. Chifa Israel the Boss 1. I do play Modern Combat 5 myself. Not well, but I do enjoy playing it. Hey T-Mobile. Always good to see you. Let's jump across and see who's performing. Actually, yeah, well, there we go. We found who's doing wonderful work on the LAC, but I think the Brazzers team being down to 4 members could be crucial for their current performance. Getting tagged, trying to look for the overload reset, won't quite manage it this time round. But Poons is down as well. But yeah, T-Mobile, how you doing? Welcome to our finals stream. We're already quite a long way through. We're already in the semi-finals, so we're banging through the giveaways and trying to make sure we deliver as many credits to you guys as possible. We've already had a double winner in the form of my good friend and neighbour Illumination Gamer, who won both of the Twitch giveaways because he was the only person who entered. So congratulations to him. Illumination Gaming, the Dreadeye does have Ricochet. That's one of the many reasons why prestige weapons are banned in these ESL tournaments, because everybody was exclusively using Dreadeyes and just bouncing shots off everything. So as much as people don't perhaps like the current state of Mortal Kombat 5 ESL being extremely sniper heavy, that's not really touching on how ridiculous it used to be. Not to say that people's opinions about this aren't valid, but at the same time it was definitely sillier in the past, just kind of balanced out by every weapon being horribly overpowered in the prestige class. It really just boiled down to Firecracker or Dreadeyes. An interesting little facet about the museum as Take Motti look to close out this game one is that, there we go, is that it was possible with the Dreadeye to actually kill someone from spawn on this map, which I think was a large part of why we do not see the Dreadeye still in play. So, game 1 across 2. Take Motti. Let's just let Soldier Girl know. And let's see about our Facebook giveaway. Okay, our Facebook winners will be Lauren Divara Camacho and a person with a name I can't pronounce, but I have successfully tagged you, so hopefully you will be able to respond. So I'm just going to pin that comment there just so you guys can be fully aware, because we will be moving on to Twitch now for our next giveaway. If the guys on Facebook aren't still here, then we will come back for that, but oh sorry, I misspoke. We'll be moving on to Mob Crush. So let me just get that all ready for y'all. And we have got the pass key for the next semi-final between Brazzers and Take Motti. So stay tuned and we'll be back in just a few minutes. Alright guys, let's get stuck in for our second semi-final game between Brazzers and Take Motti. John Smith, you think Brazzers is going to come back here? Certainly that game one was pretty firmly in Take Motti's favour, which is honestly pretty impressive. But there certainly is a reason why Brazzers do come in as our #1 seed. They are a team certainly seasoned with many successes over the months that they have been part of the Modern Combat 5 competitive scene. Hero Gaming Simon, lovely to see you. And Zeus, I can see you're very enthusiastic about your hellos, and that's always a nice thing to see. Brazzers have seized themselves the early advantage. Illumination, you think Destiny Blues definitely got 3rd place, unless Brazzers lose to Take Motti? Well, so far it looks like we could well be on the path to an equaliser here for Brazzers, unless Take Motti managed to take back control. It's not irretrievable for Take Motti at this point. Zeus, you think Score are going to win? Well, maybe not today, but I think they may be part of our finals tomorrow. Oh wow, Take Motti 4 kills in a row. Really nice stuff from them. They've almost wiped out the lead that Brazzers got early on. Ampoon, the hero of the last game. Doing some really nice work in this one as well. Gets tagged down to 0% health, but even the icy clutches of death are not enough. Zeus, you seem very firm in your assertion that Score are going to win, and I would not like to dissuade you of such strong beliefs. Hero Gaming, what is good? Well, this finals is good, I would say. We've got ourselves 8 of our best teams competing for 500 euros. Illumination Gaming, I really want to see that comeback from Take Motti. Illumination, have Take Motti made believers out of you? The only Japanese team in the semi-final stage, the only non-American team in the semi-final stage. We've got a lot to fight for here. There is, of course, the long history of American and Japanese teams being dominant over the monthly finals, at least for their particular region. But there's not going to be at least a Violence Destiny Grand Finals, which we've been used to as well, seeing in perhaps more recent times. Oh, Peter, if you're looking for a squad yourself, I'll just send you a command for Discord. So, brilliant if you guys can find squads in the chat. If you guys would like to find more people, head to the ESL Modern Combat 5 Discord, and from there you can go into the recruitment channel and try and get yourself a squad together so you too can be playing for the big money. Illumination Gaming, you think Take Motti have got more to show us? They've got more to give? Well, we shall see. Radiant did pick up one of those last kills as Take Motti seize the lead for themselves. Within their dark claws contain the chance of 2-0ing this semi-final. Would be absolutely massive for them. Mob Crush giveaway is in effect. Once our finals get started, that Mob Crush giveaway will be over, and I think, and don't quote me on this, we've only had one person drop across there so far, and it's going to be, I believe, oh no wait, no, it has been 2, Illumination Gamer and Beasted, so those guys are the favourites to win over on Mob Crush. If you want to ruin their day and at least reduce their chances, which at the moment are 100% of walking away with 400 credits. If you want some of that for yourself, make your way across to mobcrush.com/moderncombat. Enter in #semi. That's all you need to do. Anyway, back to the game itself, which has slowly but surely be turning back into the American team Brazza's favour, playing over on the blue side with a small lead. We've seen Take Motti are more than capable of busting through a whole bunch of kills in a hurry. I think 4's the most we've seen them do, so still within reach of Brazza's. Slow and steady seems to be the approach at the moment though, as Take Motti trying to control these doorways, trying to make sure Brazza's can't break through and swipe away even more points. Now we've got Poon, the hero of the hour, getting caught out by themselves and taken down, but able to at least attack some of the vulnerable back of the Brazza's team. The question then becomes, what is the right course of action here for Take Motti? Do they pick off individual kills of Brazza's, or do they try and go whole hog? Lime gonna get taken out by themselves, as it turns out, with a rather ill-placed grenade, and I think Take Motti's chances may have evaporated of managing to seal this out as a 2-0 with that last offensive maneuver from the Brazza's side. Hero Gaming Simon, why don't I talk with other people on Discord? Honestly, I've just got a lot of Discord chats that I'm in, but I will try and drop by the ESL Discord a little bit more often. I know that people do tend to tag me on there, which is always fun. But yeah, that will actually be it. Yep, game 2 on Vantage goes over to Brazza's 46-39. So we still had a relatively strong performance from our good friend Poon, but it's going to be who does the lion's share of the work, with 20 kills. Alright guys, Mob Crush, as I said, is still in place for the time being, so we will be back with a decider game between our good friends Brazza's and Take Motti. Will it be an All-American Finals, or will Japan get a look in? Only one way to find out. That's to stay right here. Will BRB. Welcome back everybody for our third and final game between Take Motti and Brazzers. Only one of these teams will be moving forward to our grand finals to face off against Violence Blue. At the end of this game, whoever wins, Mob Crush giveaway will cease. John Smith. Prove me wrong, huh? See if you guys can figure out how to add each other on Modern Combat 5. To be fair, it took me a while to find the bit to add people by dog tags. Shelvum, I can understand that. The timing is pretty tough. I think it's usually that the iOS ones are kind of like are geared. I think there is usually one which is a bit better timing for India. But yes, so I would say your sleep is probably more important than playing. Of course, my own sleep I have made an entirely different decision about, but everyone must make their owns. Oh, John Smith, are you on different platforms from each other? That might explain a few things. First exchange of gunfire between Take Motti and the Brazzers. Doesn't result in a kill. Let's see if we can spot what's going on here. So it's Take Motti who are the first to try and move in for a capture, which immediately draws the attention of Brazzers, who descend like a cloud of vengeance. And just like that, Brazzers take the first point in an exceptionally violent fashion. Take Motti made the strategicized decision to go in for that relay, but they did not realize the fury that was waiting in place. Illumination Gaming, I think you could well have been right, a more defensive stance, waiting, perhaps being more patient and waiting for Brazzers to make that move themselves. Would have worked better. I'm glad you guys are trying to make friends in the chat, even if it isn't necessarily working out 100% of the time. Hero Gaming Simon, thank you for always being around to remind me to drink some delicious water. That's sure delicious. Whew. Alright, so Illumination Gaming and others in the chat, if you are in Take Motti's position, you know that if it goes down, you know, if we let the timer run all the way down, then a rush from Brazzers is hard to deal with, because there's multiple ways that the team can approach that central objective. I mean, what do you guys think they should do? Maybe we can see a variant on the last play where Take Motti send one person in to capture the relay, and then have the rest of the team around the outside of that particular chamber to catch Brazzers as they descend once again. But would Brazzers go for exactly the same strategy twice? It seems a little unlikely. Clouds trading themselves across. It's now 3v3, both teams picking each other off. Illumination Gaming, you've got some good thoughts about the strategic approach to the semi-finals. Yes, I do think that we'll see whichever team is able to outmaneuver the other move ahead to face off against Vio Blue here. Hero Gaming, I am eating some mini oranges. Tastes delicious. Tastes like victory. I say get two people on the towers outside with thermals to get rid of Brazzers, and send the rest in with support to team heal and DPS. Interesting. I think that's a I think that could work pretty well. Certainly this time round, doesn't look like we're going to be seeing Take Motti going for exactly the same strategy, if in fact the same strategy at all. With it being 3v3, alright, so we are seeing Take Motti covering the central objective, which makes sense. Certainly from this little control room here, it's very hard to get shot from anywhere else, which is not on the same level. And also, it means that if Brazzers lose their patience and move in, then they will get filleted. So it looks like Brazzers are up on the rooftops ready for another commando insertion down on to that objective. So it basically works out pretty much the same as last time. It looks like Brazzers thought Take Motti would just do the same thing over again, and which isn't a completely unreasonable assumption to make. But however, Take Motti have gotten wise. John Smith, you're watching Steezy streaming at the same time. That's pretty cool. Good to get the full experience of all the teams playing today. Yummy. Let me put a little bit more. John Smith, water is the most delicious drink, because I've gotten to the point now where I just drink because I'm thirsty, and I don't know if you've ever drunk something when you've been really thirsty, but it tastes really good because, you know, you're thirsty and then you're able to deal with that. So, yeah, I honestly do find water pretty delicious. I mean, there are other things that taste good too, but water is probably my favorite drink. Randy, ESL doesn't do capture the flag at the moment. I think it probably would need to have more specialized maps for capture the flag rather than them just being kind of adaptations of pre-existing maps. Is that something you'd like to see in ESL? It's certainly an interesting idea. I don't know if it will happen anytime soon, but if enough people express interest in the same idea continuously, and send in emails to moderncombatcommunity@gmail.com, which is a direct access line to Redo, the Gameloft community manager. So if we get, you know, if there's 10 emails about the same thing over a period of time, then hey. Alright, here we go. Brazzers making their move in, looking for the capture. An early exchange, we can see Takaru up on the side, but I think... No. Dramas, or Brazzers as they are known here, despite all the best laid plans by Take Motti, despite that being a massive trap that they flung themselves into, they still come out ahead. If Brazzers get one more point, they will be going to finals with Violence Blue. Mob Crush giveaway will be over at the same time. Gatkia, dude, your voice makes me thirsty. I don't know how to take that. But I hope it's a good thing. If so, please get yourself some delicious water and slurp it down yourself. Illumination Gaming, are the teams even right now? Even? I'm not sure what you mean, Illumination. But yes, I'm not sure Capture the Flag is the best idea immediately. But maybe there could be a map made where you could see a more, you know, considered style of Capture the Flag, as opposed to it being kind of sort of... I feel like there's some potential in the Capture the Flag style. Personally, I'd like to see... I find that the cargo mode is actually pretty fun. I know it's used in other first-person shooters to great effect. I think it's just because it's a good way to encourage people to actually fight each other. As much as possible, and it's a kind of an easy to understand idea, which is something outside of just the sheer amount of kills. Alright, Brazzers gonna go in, gonna try and rush down once more, but Radiant getting some really nice work done from range. Doesn't actually have the thermal scope, but has done enough along with Take Motti to get back one round. Illumination Gaming, you think a weakness of Take Motti is they don't move around enough? Well, this time round it felt like they maybe managed to execute on their strategy of laying a trap for Brazzers a little bit better. Radiant, able to operate from extreme long range, did eventually get shut down, but not before taking multiple members of Brazzers with them. Illumination Gaming, yes. I think that could well be true. That Capture the Flag would be very heavily based on stealth, just because the maps just, I feel like they're not big enough necessarily, and I don't think there's enough different approaches to really make it work. But I don't think there could never be a map that would allow for those kind of things. So we'll see. Alright, 1 minute left before sudden death does set in. What do you guys think is going to happen once that all goes down? Will Brazzers go for the old rushdown tactic that's worked relatively well for them so far, or have Take Motti done enough to get themselves back into contention if a situation like that does arise? I'm not sure. It was so confusing the last time when Take Motti actually won that it's a little hard to call. Randy, do you think Game Motti needs to add more long-range maps? I think that could be some mileage in there. I mean, certainly sniping seems to be very, very popular as it stands, as Brazzers managed to take that first kill and also tag down Radiant. Oh, that's gonna smart. I think that may have spelled the end of the chances of Take Motti as Brazzers commit in big for the push. I think there's only going to be one or maybe half of one left. There we go. Brazzers have made it through to our grand finals today. Alright guys, we need to sort out our Mob Crush giveaway. So, with that in mind, let's cast our eyes across to there and see who entered in those hashtags. Okay, our Mob Crush giveaway winners are Shabam Argawal and PH Loy 7 Camacho. Please post your dog tag and platform. So Shabam Argawal and PHLOY 7 Camacho. Congratulations on being one of our, well, on each being double winners today. No, each of you being a winner today. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to check in on Facebook. And just check, yes, so we've got everyone from there. Just going to check that. Okay, yes, so we've got both of our winners from Facebook as well. So that's all good. So guys on Mob Crush, just put your details in and we will be moving on to our last set of giveaways of the day. Let's go let Soldier Girl know what's going on. Shabam, thank you for your deets. I'll just get those written down. Hero Gaming Simon, yes, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment. I do apologise for that. Saying here, and I have to admit I am a little bit tired at the moment. It is 4:30 in the morning here, and I've been going since, I think this would be hour 11, I think. But I mean, I have had a little bit of a break in between, not, I think probably about, effectively, so I'd say about hour 10 maybe, I don't know. We'll see how it's going. Hey boy. So PHLOY7 Camacho. I haven't seen you post since then, so hopefully you are still around. There we are. Just so you posted just then. Thank you for that. And that should be all groovy. Alright guys, we have then got our grand final coming up. Brazzers versus Violence Blue. So please do stay tuned. YouTube giveaway will be starting up shortly. So we'll see you in just a few minutes. Welcome one and all to our grand finals, our all-American grand finals with the fall of Take Motti. It is now Brazzers versus Violence Blue fighting for their share of 500 euros, 150 euros to second place, 350 to first place. Brazzers certainly are the favourites with a long history of success. but an early exchange of gunfire does come out even. That's right, Illumination Gaming, this is the first game of a potential 5, as Vio Mori does some really nice sniper work on the BSW. Despite Violence Blue actually being behind in numbers, keeping it pace for the time being. Let me just update some bits and pieces here before we get things underway properly. Hero Gaming Simon, when you get your sleep, you're going to be able to beat those Paragon noobs. I think that's an excellent reason to get some sleep if I ever heard one. Illumination Gaming, Morph is hard to use when you only have tier 1 like me. Oh boy. Illumination Gaming, that's the saddest thing I've heard all day. So, first date between these two teams will be on the museum. A little exchange of long-range gunfire there gives the ever so tiny advantage across to the Brazzers team. So as before, it is going to be doing a lot of the work. Three 3-0 so far. Emily Roland, nice to see you back again. How long does the morph shields last? It seems quite short. I'm not sure of exactly the numbers. Maybe someone else in the chat can illustrate that, because that's the kind of thing which is really worth knowing. Elimination Gaming, you love the morph, but you haven't invested in her. That's a terrible thing to say, Illumination Gaming. You must invest. Certainly, as far as competitive goes, Morph seems to be fantastic at the moment, so it seems like a good investment. Brazzers getting themselves a few kill streaks after that last engagement, putting down some relatively conservative turrets, as pops around the corner and picks off multiple members of Violence Blue just like that. I do like this turret placement actually, where it's going to be very hard to access from other areas. As soon as someone comes around the corner, they're going to crap themselves because they cannot see a turret coming before it sees them coming. Chung Harold, thank you for dropping by the stream. Yes, Emily Roland, you've joined us just in time for our Grand Finals Game 1. We've seen some pretty impressive stuff from Brazzers as they took out Take Motti, the only Japanese squad to make it to the semi-finals, to guarantee an All-American Grand Finals. Violence Blue, before even getting to this point, did take out Destiny Blue and ANG on their way here. So some big names in today's tournament, and it all comes down to these final up to 5 games. Brazzers in the sarcophagus room, doing a pretty good job of holding down and locking down that premium location. I don't know, Emily Relland, about that shield. I'm sure someone must know the exact details of that in the chat, or at least have a fairly good sort of gut impression of how long these kind of things last in practical terms. Sometimes, the descriptions and things don't get updated when balance changes are made, so it's not always going to be super reliable to use in-game stuff. Still, looking at the game overall, back to the more direct stuff, Brazzers still down 4 versus 5, but as long as is in contention, I think Brazzers are in a pretty safe spot. Ra1 is doing some nice sniping work from extreme long range, This is one of the reasons why I particularly like the museum as a map. Lots of different kinds of engagements are possible, sometimes in the same area as each other. For instance, you can have sniper battles on this roughly the same piece of map as you can have these also very short range battles, depending on the particular direction that you approach from. So that's kind of cool. Brazzers now ahead by 6, looking pretty good. I think a lot of that, yes, well, yeah, about a third of the Brazzers kills going to be on Ms. So we've got to give a little bit of credit across to AN as well, and to the rest of the Brazzers side. There we go, literally the last one we look at, 7-7. So while that isn't necessarily the world's best individual score, it's still respectable when your team's ahead. To just go even, but accelerate matters towards the finish is worthwhile, though in this particular game, I don't see either of these teams actually getting all the way through to 50 kills. If they have been, then going 7-7 or 11-11 is alright. Alright, 20 seconds left to go, and Violence Blue have caught up on Brazzers. So it's anyone's game to play for. Nitro does pick up a cheeky kill there, as does Ra1. Brazzers have been ahead forever, but at the very last hurdle, they may run into trouble as Ra1 picks up one more kill, and with another, Violence Blue take game 1. Impressive stuff. Looked like Violence Blue were in trouble for a very long time there, but they will not be bothered any further. So let's get our giveaway stuff set up. I know that I have, let's see, who was it who was asking about it? Who's next? That's right. I know you do love to see the scoreboard afterwards, but unfortunately I'm having some problems with my client at the moment, which means that it won't show the scoreboard for more than a couple of seconds, so that's why I'm not tending to bring it up on stream. But before we get ourselves to break, which we'll do in just a second, let's get ourselves changed across to our current giveaway, which will be on YouTube. Alright, let me just grab the current link, get everything updated. So double giveaway as always. Now let's just update everybody as to what's going on there. Alright, and last of all, the details on the screen. Boo-ba-da-boo-boo-boo-da-boo. Alright, we've got our next pass key, so bear with me for a second, and we'll be getting into that game in just a moment. BRB, volveremos enseguida. Welcome back, everybody, to our second game of our grand finals. A swap of sides means we're seeing Violence Blue over on the blue, and Dramas, or as they're known now, Brazzers, over on the red. Streets will be our destination. So, gentle viewers, I wish to know your thoughts on the matter. Last time round, Violence Blue were behind for pretty much the whole game before coming back and stealing away that first game on the museum. Now we're on the streets. Do you think they can do the same again, or will they try and go for a more direct approach? Oh, yeah, guys, let me know in the chat. What time are you? Is it locally to where you are? Because I imagine, given that it's nearly 5 in the morning here, that it must actually be a sort of a semi-reasonable time to be watching this in some parts of the world, in certain parts of Asia and things. Ah, it's 12 o'clock there. 12 o'clock midday or 12 o'clock midnight? It's actually Ra1, who's doing very well in the early salvos, going up 4-0. Oh, Enrique the player, you're from Texas, or Texas possibly? And it's 11:55 PM there. Gosh. So, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So it's basically a straight 5-hour difference between us. Midnight. I see. Emily Roland, do you reckon Violence has got this one because of their experience on the streets? Certainly, we're not seeing the kind of heavy camping style which has characterized so many games on streets. Instead, more of a run and gun chaotic style, which is going pretty even so far. Not a significant difference between the two. Delicious water. It seems like the popular opinion are that Violence Blue are going to take game number 2, which seems sensible, being based on the game 1 performance. Certainly not winning by a mile, but it felt very deliberate at least, which is saying something, that they were behind for a long time, but then didn't seem to let that slow them down at all with a last second push. Brazzers, for the time being though, do maintain their lead. Firing from a pretty long range there on the assault class, but still working out pretty well. Uh-oh. You guys talking about football or soccer? Definitely not something which I know too much about. Even though I'm from England, a place completely obsessed with football. Despite the fact we're not very good at it. Rugby though, we're actually quite good at, and no one cares about. Or at least most people don't care about it. I don't know. So, back to slightly more relevant proceedings. Doing a pretty good job so far. And the Brazzers team actually picking up a lot of kills for themselves. A pretty comfortable lead already. Oh, and it's worth bearing in mind, so for you guys entering in on the Facebook page, because it's done through an completely automated system as opposed to just random number generators as we would normally do it. While you can, well, I would encourage you to only enter in once because Nightbot will disallow multiple entries for the giveaway. So if you've entered in once, don't worry, Nightbot will have automatically recorded your entry. If you're entering multiple times though, your entry will be discarded by that heartless and never feeling Nightbot. Because we don't want the chat necessarily to be completely spammed out with entries. We want people to be able to still, you know, talk to each other on YouTube. Stefan, 99, nice to see you. Armin Tor, thank you for telling Shalifa about that one. The New Zealand rugby team is good, I can believe it. New Zealand definitely a place very much known for its fantastic rugby. Again, I can't say I know that much about rugby either, but I'm at least a little bit more comfortable with it. Don't know if any of you guys saw the Super Bowl a little while back, but that was quite a lot of fun. Especially when you can get it explained by someone who's fantastic at explaining things. Armin Tour, the YouTube giveaway is very much not over. It is in place until this finals is over one way or the other. It's looking like we've got every sign of Brazzers equalising this series and bring it to 1-1 on the streets, despite a lot of faith being shown towards Vance's chances. As a very experienced team on the streets, Brazzers are going to win out by a much larger margin in game number 2 than Valence did in game number 1. Perhaps something to prove now for Brazzers. And there we go, 50-37. Pretty good stuff. Alright, so that means we've got at least 2 more games before we will draw our 2 YouTube winners. So stay tuned and we will be back with more Mortal Kombat 5 Grand Monthly Finals in just a few minutes. Alright guys, we reach our turning point of the grand finals. One of these two teams will take the advantage, will take the high ground, Anakin. Let's see how many prequel memes we can get through in the course of this game. Because one of these teams will, after this, be standing on the precipice of winning our monthly finals and putting their hands on 350 euros. However, one team will be looking down the barrel of having to win 2 games in a row to do so. So this game becomes extremely important. Brazzers get the early advantage with a nice couple of kills there. Pa. Hey there, Pa. Doing a good job of ducking away after getting it tagged. Some close range dancing from Violence Blue, and Brazzers actually puts Violence Blue ahead as the sniping kills continue to be traded back and across. Brazzers do get some nice long range work done there. Let's check in with It's not actually being the one who's standing out in the early going. It's going to be Arn. 4 and 1 so far. Doing some really nice work stepping up for Brazzers. Though bear in mind, as tired voice as I am right now at 5 o'clock in the morning here, which will officially make it sort of 12 hours of Modern Combat 5 today. Sort of, but not really, but sort of. I can imagine that over the course of this tournament, the different players will step up at different times as they marshal their energy reserves. Armin Tor, hello, 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 lovely to see you. Hope that you will enjoy the rest of our grand finals today if you're just dropping in for the first time. We are 1 apiece in this best of 5. 500 euro prize pool, 150 for second place, and 350 for first. So both of these teams are guaranteed cash payouts larger than winning a regular monthly tournament, but tantalizingly, that first and second prize definitely substantially different. John Smith, why are you telling people to break their phones with a hammer? I wouldn't necessarily trust John Smith. Seems like a dork. Alright, Brazzers ahead by 5. Stepping up alongside Anne to pick up a whole bunch of kills in a hurry. Would not recommend breaking yours or anybody's phone with a hammer. I feel like it's just a poor idea in general. Oh yes, Sergeant Buds. Oh boy, you got bad Wi-Fi. That's too bad. Hey, no way, Gaki. Nice to see ya. You join us for Game 3, the turning point between Violence Blue and Brazzers in this grand fuck. Excuse me. It's all those oranges I've been eating. That's right, Enrique the player. I've started becoming abusive counterfeit in me old age. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm practically dead already. I think I'm going to have to start calling people dorks in general, just because, hey, who doesn't love being called a dork? John Smith definitely up on the top of that dork totem pole right now, but who can match John Smith for dorkerishness and claim the dorky crown? Brazzers certainly doing a lot of work to claim their own crown here. As I said, a lot of money on the line for these teams, and Brazzers are working their darndest to make it sure. So Armin Tor, it is 350 splits between the team, which is why we don't tend to see a whole lot of substitutes playing. But yes, it's at this level of tournament, I think 350 per player would be pretty gigantic. A lot of this is going to be for pride, because so many of these teams have ended up playing against each other for an extended period of time. I think at some point there will be the larger tournaments as well. I think to an extent Modern Combat Versus is going to play some role in terms of how Modern Combat's esports scene grows. I know that Gameloft will be, trying to make the most of Modern Combat 5 as far as what it's capable of esports wise. You guys have already managed to create an incredible set of circumstances for these tournaments to take place, and so many teams rising and falling, such a great amount of effort being put into every single match, just as Violence Blue fall dramatically behind with the 1 minute remaining mark. It's looking like Violence Blue might just have to let this one go, and as we talked about at the start of this game, Brazzers, if they win out here, which is looking extremely likely, will be one game away from those 350 euros. Violence Blue in a dire situation now. Tifa, yes. Do remember that spamming hashtag funnels will invalidate your entry, so do be aware of that. Armin Tour, I think it's debatable, because there's, as much as it's an unusual situation for sort of sister studios to be making titles which occupy a very similar space, there is a lot of interaction, I think, between the various different Gameloft branches. So I think if one does well, then the other does well. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I suspect Modern Combat Versus will end up more or less occupying the same kind of infrastructure that Modern Combat 5 does right now. Alright, so anywho, that's going to be the end of that one. So we will be heading to break once more, and we'll be back for Game 4, potentially the last of today, as Brazzers take the lead in the series. YouTube giveaway will be drawn once this finals is done, which could be at the end of next game. Alright guys, we'll see you then. Welcome back, gentle friends, to Game 4 of our monthly finals, grand finals. Brazzers versus Violence Blue. Construction site. We'll build a building. From here, the building blocks of great fortune or dismay. DMZ gonna be the ones to get first blood on their country folk. Violence Blue, both teams from the USA, both teams up for a scrap. What do you think, guys? Can Violence Blue bring this series back under extreme pressure, or is it all too much? John Smith, how do I feel when I'm sleepy? Apart from sleepy? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean, John Smith. Maybe you could phrase it in the form of modern dance. A hush falls across the construction site. An intake of breath before the storm comes. Turquoise picking up a kill. Rocking that shiny red lack. Both teams aware of how much is at stake. How much beer money or food money, probably food money, is at stake here. A difference of 200 Euro dingoes between first and second place. As I said before, both teams are guaranteed a monetary payout from this tournament, but to have that dependent on this game's performance, it's going to be feeling the pressure for Violence Blue, but they're doing pretty well in this opening salvo, picking up some kills from themselves, and Ra1 just managing to get away with that particular kill. John Smith, what goes through my mind? Maybe you could elaborate, John Smith, as to what you mean. What kind of things? Apart from don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep, don't fall asleep. Sergeant Buds, good to know that you are willing and able to donate your terrible Wi-Fi to help reduce the chances of any given team. That is a valuable asset to bring to the stream. Ra1 stepping up to bat for Violence Blue, and it's actually looking pretty good for them so far. Violence Blue not showing too many signs of feeling that pressure of having to win 2 straight games to get their hands on those 350 euros. Hero Gaming Simon, thank you for dropping by the stream. Hope you'll come back another time. We've got another finals tomorrow and another cup before we get on to, well, actually 12 hours from now we'll have our next finals, I believe, and then we'll have a cup after that, and then on the following day I think we'll have our final cup to end out. But if you want to know all the details in your local time zone, please do head to the ESL Modern Combat page, and all of the secrets of the Modern Combat 5 competitive scene will be revealed before you in all their terrifying majesty. Umahara working with Ra1 there to get those final few kills through. Let's check in with our number 1 stunner, who gets taken out by Mori. John Smith, how does my body feel like? Oh boy, you're asking much more specific questions now. Little woozy. It is coming up on 5:30 in the morning here, so it should be interesting. I was hoping to get a bit more sleep between the two tournaments, but didn't really work out that way. Unfortunately, Android ran pretty long this time round, even with the extra hour which I requested between tournaments to maximize the chances of being able to actually get some sleep. I think I got about 10 minutes with the way things worked out, which was a bit awkward, but hey, what can you do, huh? Brazzers have made a pretty good comeback here, actually managing to equalize with Violence Blue, putting them within shouting distance of winning out this series 3-1. Our Amarine Tour, I completely agree with you. I think it's very hard to comprehend for the average person, average working adult. Their lives are so very separate from the life of a professional athlete that it's quite hard to comprehend how hard that life is. I did at one point get to know someone who was training to be an Olympic gymnast. She said that eventually she just decided she wanted to have a life outside of being an Olympic gymnast, and so she stopped doing it. In the same way, if you want to be a esports professional like these guys are, they're making money out of esports, so they are professional esports players. Not necessarily on the in the same way that some of the bigger leagues might be in terms of like being a full-time professional. But if you're making money from it, I would consider you to be a professional in some capacity. But yes, Amarine, I'm sure over time it will change, but Brazzers will not change their thirst for victory. Let's drop in with ums, and there we go. Brazzers have done it. 3-1. They have secured themselves the 350 euros. They will be our champions of the day. Let me just update the stream to reflect that. And we'll do our final giveaway in just a moment. All right. Sorry, I'll just change that there. I realised I put these scores on the wrong team. Right. So that should be all good. So congratulations once more to our winners, Brazzers. And our YouTube giveaway, we will get that sorted out now. So our first winner will be Stjepan Solina. Stjepan, if you are around, please do make yourself known. We'll give you 3 minutes to come back. I'm going to have a quick check through the chat and see if you have posted at all recently. So Stjepan Solina, I'm not seeing you for a while. Hopefully you are still here. If not, we'll leave it a couple of minutes. Alright, while we're waiting to see if Stjepan comes back, we will draw the other winner. So I'm going to make a note here of who our first one is. Illumination Gaming, thank you for dropping by. So yes, we will be back in 11.5 hours time for our next Modern Combat 5 Grand Finals, so please do come back and join us for that. We'll just do our last giveaways and then we'll call it a night. So Amarine Tour, who I think I was just talking to, is definitely still around, so Amarine, congratulations. John Smith, you could play for 24 hours, That's quite a claim. Maybe you should do it for charity. Charity! Alright, Amreen, if you could put down your dog tag and platform. It doesn't look like Stepan is around, but I'll give him a little bit more time before we redraw again, and hopefully eventually we'll find someone who is actually here. I know it's the end of the stream, so people tend to drop out, perhaps forgetting that they've got a chance of winning here if they do stay around for just a few minutes more. Alright, let me get everything in place for Amreen, and then I think that's probably enough time for Stepan. Thank you, Amreen. Got your details. So, with that in mind, let's do the old redraw. Let's see. Okay, our new YouTube winner will be Samuel Provost. Samuel Provost. Oh, you have posted recently. So Samuel Provost, if you could post your dog tag and platform, you will be our last winner of the day. Thank you guys for dropping by. And we will catch you in, 11.5 hours from right now with our next monthly finals. I'll just wait a second to check that Samuel Provost is going to reply. Once more, congratulations to Brazzers, our monthly champions. Hopefully, Samuel, you'll be coming back in a second. If not, then we'll have to redraw again, but I'll give you a couple of minutes to respond. Amreen Tor, you are more than welcome. Thank you, Samuel Provost, got your details. Alright guys, so that'll be it for us this evening. I'm going to go to sleep, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening, or whatever time of day it is, wherever you are. But for me, I've been Peter Counterfeit Hartnell. You can find me on those social medias. Peter Counterfeit Hartnell Shoutcaster on Facebook, Counterfeitcast on Twitter, and of course the Modern Combat pages, Facebook.com/Modern Combat and Modern Combat on Twitter for all the updates about all the Modern Combat 5 stuff. Alright guys, good night, and thanks for watching.